Welcome to 3 Minute Thoughts. So, out geocaching again, and we are in Carnation. We crossed a bridge to get here, and up a hill. Go back down the hill. It's the cache found in, you said 2001?
We placed it in March 2001.
March 2001. So it looks like a little thermos or a water cooler type of thing. Really cool. But let's see what to talk about today. So yesterday I reviewed a movie, The Tomorrow War, and I was thinking about the paradoxes in The Tomorrow War, which I didn't actually cover in the review. One thing I did like is the paradox of killing yourself. They cover because anyone who goes into the future has already died. Anyone who went into the past hasn't been born yet. But that only covers that paradox. What it doesn't cover is the grandfather paradox. The idea of traveling back in time before you're born, and if you kill your own grandfather, then what happens? In Back to the Future, when Michael J. Fox stopped himself from being born, he started to disappear from the photo until he was able to reestablish his own birth. But that's something that this movie does not cover at all, is the grandfather paradox, which I'm surprised they don't address in any way. And there's so many cases of it. For example, because these are of course spoilers, when Chris Pratt goes to the future and then comes back and then lives his life, he supposedly still dies 7 years from then, and he gets estranged from his daughter. But in the movie, that's not what happened. So what was different in his journey of going forward and back that changed it so that he didn't do that? I.e., what was the previous version? Did they not figure out the cure? And therefore, so he watched his daughter die? But even if they didn't figure out the cure, they didn't need the cure. They just needed to know where the creatures were, which is what they did anyway. Also, all the people who came from the future to the past and now are stuck in the past, even though they haven't been born yet, they're going to be born. So what happens when they meet themselves at that time? Because those future people are still in the past. What else we have? We have, and then just the biggest paradox is, so they go to the future, they get the cure, they come back in time, they kill the aliens. Now they can't go, the aliens are no longer in the future, the war doesn't happen. So how do they get the cure if they never encounter the aliens in the future? That's, I've heard that paradox called other things, like the idea of like, if you, from someone from the future goes back and gives Mozart like all his music, so he'd have to invent it, then where did the music come from? Well, lots of paradoxes, not answered, but yeah, it's a good action movie. And they do a good job covering everything else. So those are my thoughts. Thanks.